Meghan Markle makes a fool of Oprah Winfrey. Keep watching to find out. G'day guys, this is Holy Critic and welcome back to the channel. Now, I just witnessed something very special. Of course, by now it's probably hitting your news headlines. The bombshell interview between Meghan Markle, husband to Prince Harry. Wife of Prince Harry. Of course, we know who wears the pants in that marriage. But anyway, and she was interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, who I haven't seen for quite a number of years. Of course, she hasn't given a good interview since Tom Cruise jumped on her couch, but that's a side topic. This interview is a classic case study in narcissism. It exhibits all the traits that you would expect from a person who suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. Projection, gaslighting, victimhood, inflated self-image. Of course, Meghan can do no wrong. This is her coming out, her expose into the seedy tactics of the British royal family. Now, there's a lot to cover in this video, so instead of me rambling talking points off the top of my head, I'm going to read you a few articles which discuss the key moments of this interview. And then, as we go along, I'm going to highlight a pattern of behaviour, indicating that rather than being the victim, Meghan Markle is actually the antagonist of this little saga. And of course, who did she choose to be interviewed by? Oprah is so hungry for this exclusive that you can tell the questions being asked are carefully curated. I'm talking softball question after softball question to betray Meghan and obviously Prince Harry, but of course mainly her because he's sort of the passive observer to the side. They want to portray her as being like Princess Diana, a philanthropist, a compassionate person, a victim of racism, Jussie Smollett 2.0, and I can tell you, she gives an even better performance than he ever could. Let's read on. In an explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have given a behind-the-scenes account of their experience as royals and their decision to step away from the palace. In the 2-hour television special broadcast on American TV network CBS, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex addressed rumours surrounding the couple's relationship with members of the royal family. They also shared their concern for Archie, their son, his security, and how the pressure of royal life began to take a toll on Meghan. The interview began with Meghan recalling how she met the Queen, including a tidbit about how she was asked if she knew how to curtsy. But the tone quickly changed as the Duchess was asked about her royal life. It all changed after the Australia tour, Prince Harry revealed later in the interview. It was the first time the family got to see how incredible she was at the job. Great, she's incredible at the job. They'll all accept her, right? And brought back memories of Diana. The interview is certain to cause shockwaves through the palace and the British media, which are both singled out as the main reasons the couple decided to leave the UK and their roles as senior working royals. Meghan says there were conversations about how dark Archie's skin might be. Okay. Without context, Meghan told Winfrey she was deeply hurt by the way her son Archie was treated by members of the royal family and palace aides. While it was reported before Archie was born in 2019 that his parents did not want him to have a royal title or security, Meghan says those decisions were made for her. How is that possible if you're part of the royal family and you're the heir to a bloodline? He's the son of Harry. He gets the royal title. What are you on about? There's this convention. When you're the grandchild of the monarch, automatically Harry's child becomes... Yeah, obviously, I just said that. It's not their right to take it away. Who said they did? While I was pregnant, they wanted to change the convention for Archie. When asked by Winfrey if she thought those perks were being taken away because of Archie's race, Meghan made a big revelation. What could that revelation be, do you think? Quote unquote, I can give you an honest answer. In those months when I was pregnant, we had in tandem the conversations about how he won't be given security. He's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born. Who is having that conversation, Winfrey asks. What? Hold up, stop right there. There's a conversation about that? Meghan, there were several conversations about that. There's a conversation with you. Oh, with Harry. So you weren't present for it. You mean how dark your baby is going to be? Someone from the royal family literally just said that. Potentially, and what that would mean or look like. You're not going to tell me who had the conversation. I think that would be very damaging to them. That was relayed to me from Harry. Those conversations that the family had with him. It's already damaging. You've already smeared the family. You might as well just go and say the person who said that. But you won't, because that conversation never happened. It wouldn't. Or you've taken it completely out of context. You know, it could just be an innocuous conversation like, how do you think Archie's going to look when he's born? But you've twisted the words to turn it into a racial angle. Prince Harry later told Winfrey he would never publicly reveal who discussed his child's skin tone with him, but says the conversation left him a bit shocked. Harry said the decision to step back as senior working royals was partly driven by the racism Meghan experienced. The family, they very much have this mentality of, this is just how it is. This is how it's meant to be. But what was different for me was the race element. It wasn't just about Meghan, but what she represents. And therefore, it wasn't just affecting my wife, it was affecting so many other people as well. Of course, nobody else knew about these conversations. He also alluded to his fears that Meghan or Archie could suffer the same fate as Diana. And what would make him think that? My biggest concern was history repeating itself. And what I was seeing was history repeating itself. How so? Meghan also revealed during the interview that things began to take their toll after her marriage in 2018. Yeah, there was a breaking point. I just didn't see a solution. I would sit up at night and I was just like, I don't understand how this was being churned out. The negative press. Why does she care about the negative press? She certainly would like positive press, wouldn't she? But not negative press. So she can't control the narrative. She doesn't like the fact that she can't control the PR. Meghan said that it got to a point where she knew she needed to tell Harry how she felt. I was really ashamed to say it at the time and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially because I knew how much loss he suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it, and I just didn't. I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. The Duchess said the next day she went to the palace to ask if she could go somewhere to get help, but was told it wouldn't be good for the institution. Huh. She also discussed how hard it was to have the conversation take place and the next day be smiling for cameras. Well, thank God you've got a background in acting, Meghan. There was this photo that someone sent me. That one? We had to go to this event at the Royal Albert Hall, and a friend said, I know you don't look at pictures, but oh my God, you guys look so great. And she sent it to me, and I zoomed in, and what I saw was the truth of what that moment was. She said it had been taken after she'd revealed to Harry how she was feeling and that he had advised her not to go with him to the event because she's suicidal, apparently. And I said, I can't be left alone. Prince Harry later said he went to all the places which I thought I should go to ask for help. So, one of the reasons they cited for leaving the family was a lack of support. Now, I'm not sure that would be corroborated by the people that she went to. She can't seek private mental health care? Earlier on in the interview, Meghan was asked about some of the rumours surrounding her and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge's relationship, Kate Middleton. In particular, Meghan addressed the reports of an incident that happened before the wedding where she was accused of making Kate cry. The narrative with Kate, which didn't happen, was really difficult, and that's when everything changed. I can see now what layers were at play there. Again, they really seemed to want a narrative of a hero and a villain. Who exactly, Meghan? When asked what happened, Meghan said she didn't make Kate cry and that the reverse actually happened. Ah, gaslighting. Gotta have that. I don't say that to be disparaging to anyone, well, you just did, because it was a really hard week of the wedding, and she was upset about something, but she owned it, and she apologised, and she brought me flowers and a note apologising. But she said what was shocking for her was that 7 months after our wedding, that the reverse of that came out. Meghan didn't offer any more details about the conversation other than to confirm it was about flower girl dresses. Talk about petty. In one of the lighter moments of the interview, Prince Harry told Winfrey that he felt grateful for the news that Meghan was having another baby, and his first thought was, amazing, it's a girl. Blah blah. And it goes on and on. Look at this picture here. Such a wonderful couple. They couldn't possibly deserve all this treatment, surely. But there was a part of the interview that I wanted to highlight. Harry begins to complain about his lack of security and how he's been getting death threats. Again, playing into the victim narrative. Of the shocking revelations included in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Sunday night interview with Oprah, some were easy to understand immediately. The allegations about a racist concern within the palace, about the potential tone of Archie's skin given his mixed-race heritage, or the false tabloid reports about a conflict between Meghan and Kate. But others revolved around complex details about the life of working royals, including press coverage, titles, and security details, the latter of which appears to have been a major sticking point for Harry and Meghan in their decision to leave. Harry made one part of it very plain. My family literally cut me off financially. Boo-hoo. And what's your net worth, Harry? You telling me all these years you haven't made any money? You haven't put any money away on the side? Give me a break. How much did that mansion cost in Hollywood? Look that up. How much did the mansion cost them? That sprawling mansion that they conducted the interview at. But he's crying poor. So entitled, man. That was the period in which he and Meghan were negotiating the terms of their exit as senior royals, and security costs played a major role in the discussions. What about putting food on the table? At the time, there were reports that they had struck a deal similar to the one arranged by former Prime Minister Tony Blair, in which they would reimburse some of the costs of their security. To do that, however, they would need to make money. Yes, like the rest of us. Poor plebs. Before he and Meghan signed their lucrative details with Netflix and Spotify, Harry said in the interview that they were relying on the money left to them by Princess Diana, and that without that, we wouldn't have been able to do this. Poor guy would have been sitting on the street corner, begging for money. The debate around security for members of the royal family is an old one. There are no publicly available rules about who does and doesn't get it. Until 2011, Prince Andrew's daughters, Eugenie and Beatrice, had received protection at reported cost of £500,000 per year, which is probably closer to $1 million US. A police task force, the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, handles a list of essential public figures and royals who have round-the-clock protection funded primarily by you and me. When Harry and Meghan temporarily moved to Vancouver in the fall of 2019, they were accompanied by Metro Police protection officers from London. Around that time they were negotiating their exit, Meghan was photographed on a hike accompanied by both Royal Protection Officers and Canadian Mounties, which sparked protests from Canadians demanding they not cover the cost of royal protection. By the time they'd moved to the United States the following spring, even Donald Trump got involved in making a to-do over the cost of protecting them, even though they've reneged on their royal status. They left the family because they were too lazy to do the duties. They just wanted the money and the prestige. Later in the interview, Harry said that there had been a suggestion that Meghan continue her acting career. I'm glad they finally got to it. She needs to make some money. She's going to be the breadwinner in this relationship. Harry ain't going to get dick anymore. He's been cut out. She's got the pants on. See what I'm saying? Implying that the royal institution had made efforts to cut their funding in multiple ways. It was while they were in Vancouver, Harry said in the interview, that they were told on short notice that their royal security detail would be cut off, even as they were still in the process of finalising their exit, with the intention of continuing to serve the Queen. Their justification was a change in status. Of course, you're out. You're done, buddy. To which I pushed back and said, is there a change in threat or risk? As of a statement in late February, they were continuing to receive royal security support, but when our senior royal status officially ended and at the end of March, they were on their own. When they moved to Los Angeles in April and stayed in a home owned by Tyler Perry, he provided their security as well. So he wants the best of both worlds. He wants that little title at the beginning of his name, Prince, but he doesn't want to do full-time duties. And this is why people think the royal family are a pack of parasites. Degenerate reptilians doing nefarious things on Epstein Island, like Prince Andrew. Remember? Remember that interview? Man, I don't know what you guys think, but they're all as thick as thieves. Yeah, I'm sure the royal family are a pack of racists. Yeah, they've endorsed eugenics. Oh, can't say that. I better censor that bit. So that's what Meghan had to say, along with her lapdog husband, who, of course, doesn't want to be in the doghouse. So he'll go along with her. He's had to. Otherwise, she'll wreck his life. But what do others think of Meghan? People she's actually spent any time with. Because she doesn't seem like the type who's got real friends. She might have sort of a superficial relationship with people, but anybody who spends any length of time with a narcissist will tell you that the mask slips. And case in point is this article. Staff nicknamed Prince Harry the hostage ahead of his wedding to Meghan Markle, insiders have claimed today. Claims have now surfaced the Duchess of Sussex constantly looking for drama, despite palace insiders insisting they had bent over backwards to accommodate her. And the tensions between the couple and staff continued to bubble before the Duke of Sussex reportedly yelled, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." Really exercising some muscle there. You don't normally hear that from him. In the lead up to their 2018 wedding ceremony, The Telegraph today reported that Prince Harry had been given the nickname the hostage. The 36-year-old is claimed to have been left furious that the tiara Meghan had planned on their wearing for the wedding could not be produced for an unscheduled hair appointment. The tiara clash with the Queen's closest aide, Angela Kelly, is said to have sparked words for Harry from the monarch himself. One source told the Telegraph Angela told Harry it was priceless and couldn't suddenly be handed over at short notice. He was furious and shouted, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." Suffice to say, it didn't go down too well. The insider claimed they insisted they had the same inflation-adjusted budget for the wedding as William and Kate. She got the choir she wanted, the dress, the carriage procession, the tiara. She got everything she wanted, but still it wasn't enough. It never will be either. She was constantly looking for reasons to say she had been deprived. Also, she wanted drama from the very beginning. Harry and Meghan tied the knot at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, claiming the lead-up to the wedding was hugely stressful for everyone involved. Just one report from the big day includes claims that the couple changed their song 12 times before they were happy with the arrangement of Stand By Me. The couple was serenaded at Ben E. King's classic love song Stand By Me as they walked down the aisle together after tying the knot. The string of claims emerged this week as the couple gets set to have their tell-all interview with Oprah aired tomorrow. The royal family is braced for more bombshell claims, among an escalating war of words. This week, reports were published claiming that Meghan had bullied several former staff members at Kensington Palace. A source told the Times newspaper that the Duchess drove 2 personal assistants out of the household and undermined the confidence of the third. The Queen launched a probe into allegations of bullying, with the palace releasing a statement saying they were very concerned at claims the Duchess bullied staff. Well, yeah, of course. People like her don't get friends. They use people. And when you're of no use to them anymore, they discard you. That's kind of how they work. And this final article, before I wrap the video up, puts it in a nice, neat bow, just what type of person Meghan really is. I will make it no secret that I happen to have a few members of my family who would classify as narcissistic. These people who are always trying to control the spotlight in every conversation and naturally have it shining on themselves. In a similar fashion, they are always pleasure seekers, looking to see what would bring them the most pleasure in life, even if this comes at the expense of those around them. It wasn't until a few years ago that I realized psychologists actually had a name for this personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. And it is my personal opinion that Meghan Markle, the former Duchess, has this personality disorder. And I know I'm not the only one to have this opinion. In fact, Meghan Markle's very own half-sister, Samantha, has referred to her sibling as a narcissist, calling her, quote-unquote, narcissist, shallow social climber. And even some of Meghan's oldest friends have a similar opinion of her. Meghan was calculated, very calculated in the way she handled people and relationships. She is very strategic in the way she cultivates circles of friends. Once she decides you're not part of her life, she can be very cold. It's this shutdown mechanism she has. What is common knowledge is the cruelty in which Meghan did this. She landed a job role in the series Suits, and due to her sudden fame, she decided she no longer needed Trevor. Yeah, nobody seems to ever talk about her previous marriage. I wonder why. If you are wondering as to how she did this, apparently she sent him her wedding ring in the post, with a letter saying she no longer wanted to be married to him. According to sources, Meghan and Trevor, the reason for their termination of their marriage was because she had struck fame and as such believed she could now do better. She was right on the money there. She did better, all right. Ironically, Meghan's excuse for ending the marriage was because by being in the drama series, she would have to live apart from her husband for a large period of time. But I thought that made the heart grow fonder, as the saying goes. Yet at the time of writing, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle often spend long periods of time apart. Yet she's still happily married. It should also be added that whilst Meghan chose to end her previous marriage to focus on her career as an actress, as soon as she met Prince Harry, she quickly packed her acting career up and decided to focus on the relationship. Well, she got an upgrade, didn't she? Now, is it just me, or is that behaviour of someone who is just a social climber and not at all interested in the needs of others? Well, Hollywood's built on that, so that's no surprise. Another aspect of Meghan's behaviour which strikes me as very narcissistic is the fact that it seems that on marrying into the royal family, she wanted all the rights and privileges that comes with being a princess, yet none of the responsibilities. As such, she soon found that she couldn't handle all the protocol and work that comes with being a royal, and as such, has decided that she and Harry will resign from the royal household, announce their titles, and become private citizens. As if. So, what do I think will become of them? Well, let's see if this is predictive. Well, in the foreseeable future, I can see Meghan pretty much trying to take advantage of her position by trying to exploit any opportunity that comes their way. This can already be seen to be occurring when Harry was caught speaking to a director of Disney about if Meghan can do any upcoming voice-over work for their movies. As a narcissist, Meghan is likely to carry on striving for the next big thing that she perceives could benefit her. Unfortunately, narcissists in their drive for power tend to end up sabotaging their relationships they need to keep the opportunity that they've received. As such, in the years to come, opportunities will probably come along soon to disappear again, followed by another opportunity to be exploited. Well, this Oprah interview is going to open up plenty more lucrative opportunities for her. Unfortunately for Harry, his wife's behaviour will cause him to lose more friends and contacts. They predicted that, because during the interview, Harry said that his father won't return his calls. So whoever wrote this got it right there. Until he literally has the bare minimum that a person born into royalty can end up with. Well, yeah, she'll control who he's friends with, of course. It's all going to be on her terms, remember? Alternatively, he may instead come to his senses and ultimately divorce. Although, I believe that for Meghan, she will probably end up back in the United States, well, got that right, publishing sensational stories about her yeah, man, this is right on the money. I've got to find out when this was written. To whichever magazine would be interested in buying them. I can only hope that if this is the case, poor Prince Harry comes to his senses and walks out before the train he's on becomes a wreck. When was this published? When was it published? January 28th. 2020, over a year ago. This one called it. And I absolutely concur with that. Thanks for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of on the long side, but there was a lot to flesh out, and I like to present both sides so that you guys can form an opinion of your own, if you care to, that is. But before you leave, please drop a comment below telling me your opinion of Meghan Markle. Do you think she really is, at her core, a kind soul, a deeply misunderstood person? Kind of like Amber Heard. No, I'm sorry, that's not even equitable. Or do you think she's a vindictive bitch who will eat men for breakfast? Poor Harry. Well, that's my opinion anyway. Or maybe none of this matters and she's just another worthless celebrity. Yeah, maybe I should form that opinion. Anyway, this is Holy Critic, signing out.